been a while, hasn't it? My bad. Kind of. I got busy with school, and right now, school comes first, which means that a lot of my reading has been on the down low. However, I did want to let you guys know, there's my thumb, that I did finish a book this past December, and I wanted to review it for you guys, and I decided I will take the opportunity to do it tonight in one take, so I apologize for any slip-ups. I'm not going to really care too much. I just want to get you guys a review and let you know that I have been reading when I can, but it's not as frequent because school comes first, and I will have to say physics with calculus base is not entirely, well, it's fun, but it's a little bit harder than I thought. And Calc 3 is so much better than Calc 2. And then anatomy and physiology is just phenomenal. And then you have Capoeira on top of that, which thankfully doesn't have much homework. So anyways, I just want to make sure that you guys get this book review. And so then that way, if you want to read John Carter, The Gods of War, you know what it's about, kind of. You'd at least know if you should read it. That's the main one. So, what do I want to start off with? This is basically Edgar Rice Burroughs once again, and it is John Carter when he returns to Mars, and his crazy adventures on Mars, trying to, in this situation, go find Dejah Thoris, because she's the love of his life. And obviously he needs to go find her after being gone for years. So, that's gotta happen. So that's the idea, and if anything we know about the first book is that Dejah Thoris is kind of like Princess Peach. She kind of gets taken away or disappears or something, so we have to go find her. So what works with this book is the fact that, one, and this is the reason why I love this book so much more than the first book, is that John Carter is more human. Not in the fact that, you know, he can't jump really high on Mars because of the different gravitational masses, or I'm not even going to try and make sure I am correct on terminology right now. Anyways, but gravitational acceleration, I think that's what it is. But he is more cautious and more wary. He is not always successful in everything he does. Things don't work out. He gets caught. Things happen. And so I like that a lot more. He's more human. He's not superhuman. He has faults, which I prefer so much more in this book. I also really enjoyed the fact that we got to go to another part on Mars that is kind of basically somewhere that you would never expect. It's that lush green forest with like living creatures and everything. It's like, oh, this is really cool. And I'm a very big cultural person. I love anything on TV that has different cultures. I even have a book from National Geographic that is, I think it's called like the Book of People, and it's just different cultures around the world and like their traditions. So I really enjoyed the fact that I had more species to read about, more people to learn about, and more kind of traditions that goes along with Mars, and things that, in my mind, you'd think that maybe somebody would have gone to find these at some point on Mars, but apparently not, because if you read the book, you'll find out why. But I don't want to spoil it. But I enjoyed it for that. I also really enjoyed that, what was it? That for the fact that I had not been able to read any books for months, especially last semester, I had 20 hours of class a week, that I was able to pick this book back up, and I could recall pretty much the majority of what I've read. Whereas some books I pick up, I'm just like, I don't remember what happened, so I have to go back and reread from the beginning. And that actually frustrates me more, because unless I really enjoyed it the first time around, if I don't, it's kind of like, oh god, I don't want to spend this much time trying to read a book. So I was thankful for that. Very, very thankful. Because after a while, this is where we get into some problems. We have a lot of repetitive things happening. Dejah Thoris, for example, disappears. John Goddard goes off to find her. Then gets there and is like, oh, sorry, princess is in another castle, kind of thing. And so he has to go back, and he's constantly trying to find her, and it's just so repetitive after a while. I'm like, I don't care about her. I didn't even really care about her in the first book, mainly because it's like, I know that in the year is that these books were written, you know, women were more oppressed, and I can understand that. That's the way of life. They are supposed to be like dainty and fragile, and you don't throw them around, kind of thing. But I got more tired of the fact that she's in the first book, she kind of was this like spunky person where it's like, you're not gonna get anything out of me if she got captured. But the fact that she's constantly getting captured, I am getting tired of. I don't care. I don't care. So I did not like that part. Especially all the repetitiveness after a while. I'm like, okay, we're off to go find her again. Oh, look, there's a battle. I've seen that already. Ugh. So, yeah, I didn't really like that one. I also didn't like the fact that, granted, the book ended in a way that I really liked how it ended. It's already a cliffhanger on its own, but there's this prison system, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very cool in how it's supposed to work. But in this time span that needs to be met up for the third book to kind of work, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't really want to read the third book because it just sounds like it's going to be boring. It sounds like it's going to be like trying to fill in the gaps of like this time period or something, unless something amazing happens. But it didn't really make me want to read the third book. Like the first book, I was like, okay, I'm going to read the second book. Like, it was still interesting enough that it was like, I want to see what happens, because obviously he's going to get back to Mars. This book, I'm kind of like, he's already on Mars, and Dejah disappeared again. I don't want to read something that's just repetitive of the second book. So I really didn't like that part, and, yeah, that was basically it. That was my cat sneezing, if you heard that. But overall, would I recommend this book? Only if you want bragging rights to reading John Carter of Mars. And I'm not even, like, talking about reading, like, the large series of it. I'm just talking about the 3 books. If you want the bragging rights to do it, outside of that, it just gets so repetitive and starts, like, just drone on and on and on. Kind of like an Energizer Bunny, but less adorable and cute. To the point that it's like, I would have been fine not reading. I would have been fine if I just read up to the parts where it's like the new species and the cultures and like kind of viewpoints of these different people. I would have been fine. And if I stopped there, I would have lived on perfectly fine. The rest of the book, not so much. So if you really want to put yourself through it, do it. But only if you want the bragging rights. Or if you really like Edgar Rice Burroughs. That's about it. Yeah, so I would recommend that if you're not too sure, go and borrow it from someone. Don't spend the money. Not even like an online version. Don't spend the money on it. That's kind of my theory on John Carter. Is just don't spend the money on it. Go borrow it from the library or something. But unless you're that into it, then you can get yourself the series and be like, oh, I've got the books. So yeah. If you guys have any books, this little spiel. If you guys have any books that you want me to read and review, just go ahead and let me know down in the comments. You can go to my Goodreads profile, even my Facebook. I got a Facebook in the time period I've been gone. So yeah, if you really want to, go hit that like button for my Facebook page, and you will get updates not only of if I'm reading a book, but also of cute, adorable kittens that can't spell. Or maybe something cool like a skin gun. Something. But basically, I like putting some little cute things on there. It's really entertaining. You can talk to me. I respond more on Facebook, actually. So, yeah, you should do that. Yeah, if you want to see more book reviews, go ahead, hit subscribe right up above. And I don't remember the rest of my spiel. But basically, just follow me everywhere. I've got an Instagram, I've got Twitter. Just follow me everywhere, and you'll get updates of my entire life. Even if it's like my math homework that I'm so very proud of because I'm using isometric graph paper. Yeah. So, and hopefully if things work out, I might have a book for you guys next month. I'll cross my fingers to hope that works out. We'll see how it does. But you guys have a great night. I have been spectacular despite all of this homework stuff going on, but it's going to pay off. Yes. So I'll see you guys later, and hopefully I'll have a book for you guys maybe in a couple weeks. We'll see. Bye.